All right, we are live for the semifinal between the United States and Panama in the CONCACAF Nations League. Should be an exciting match. Pochettino's first real test without a lot of key players, as you can see from this lineup. Going to talk about the lineup. We're going to talk about the injured players as we watch along. Obviously, Panama was a disappointing match for us in the Copa America this summer with, the Tim Weah red card and everything that came with that. But nonetheless, this is a team that we should beat. We should dominate possession of the ball. I like this midfield a lot. If you've been watching over the past month or so, I've been saying, even before the injuries, this is the midfield that I expected to see for the U.S. men's national team against Panama and against whoever we play in, hopefully, the final. But I think it's going to look a little differently than how we're looking at it right now and how they have it lined up here for quite a few reasons. But nonetheless, the expectation needs to be a victory, a comfortable victory against Panama here. Nothing less than a comfortable victory against Panama will do, as far as I'm concerned, with this U.S. men's national team performance. Pochettino has to start getting his tactics to be, applied on the pitch. We need to start seeing that consistently. We need to start seeing consistent possession. We're asking some players to do some things they're not that comfortable with, but Yunus Musah, somebody clearly who Poch believes in heavily, starting at right back, who he's been playing pretty consistently now for every single match I think he's taken over. He started him at right wing. So him to play at right back, though, is a lot of added responsibility. That will be interesting. I think Tyler Adams is going to help him out quite a bit on the right side of that pivot, kind of dropping in that triangle with Richards and Musah on that side of the ball. And then on the other side of the defense, and again, I think this is going to look a bit different than what they have here on FOTMob. I see the rotation in the lineup looking a lot more like this, with Tessman dropping in as the pivot with Adams. And again, anyone who's been watching over the last few months about what I've been saying is Tanner Tessman is going to be in a pivot with Tyler Adams. This is a perfect partner for Tanner Tessman. It hasn't been working for him so well at Lyon when he's been in a pivot with Matic because it's a lot of redundancy. But we're not going to see that redundancy with Tyler Adams. They're not the same type of profile, right? Tanner Tessman is going to be the controller in this, pivot. He's going to be the one who's spraying the ball with both feet, who's finding pockets of space, who's being that press breaker. Tyler Adams is going to be the one that dominates in transition, who, puts a foot in, makes a tackle, is kind of that rock in front of that back four, while Tessman operates, a little bit more freely. And then, of course, Weston McKennie getting the opportunity to be much further up the pitch as a closer to a number 10, where we've seen him really excel for the U.S. men's national team. He's done well at Juventus. What's up, Adam? Good to see you, man. He's done it well at Juventus in that position. And then my main difference here is I really do think you're going to see Pulisic on the left and Tim Weah on the right, because Tim Weah, number one, has played quite a bit at right back for Juventus throughout the last 4 months or so. And so I think him and Musah are actually going to be both asking for some, ability to defend. And Weah's going to help Musah a lot more on that side. Whereas Scally, we know he's a good defender. I mean, he's not a left back by trade, but when he broke into that Mönchengladbach team, this was a guy who came in and played a lot of left back. He's become their starting right back because he's more comfortable there, but he can do a job at left back. I mean, him and Ream will be interesting to see. I think most likely in possession, this is going to become a back three, and Moose is going to push up into kind of next to Tyler Adams as Tessman kind of goes into that four line. So just to kind of look at it when we're in possession here, you are going to see here we go. You're going to see Musah kind of go up and into that position. You're going to see Scally come into the right, Ream come into the right, Richards coming to the right, so that's going to be in possession. You're going to see these three guys kind of drop into that back three. Musah is coming up into this spot. Adams is going to drop a little bit further left. You'll see Tessman go straight up. You'll see McKennie and Tessman are going to roam in this area. Pulisic's going to probably come in a little bit, but he'll probably have to keep the width more than we're used to seeing from him, just due to the fact that Who do I think is coming off the bench? I'll get to the bench in a minute. I think Ajimang, though, for Sargent will happen when Josh Sargent inevitably is a disappointment, as we've seen for quite a bit of time with the U.S. men's national team. Yeah, and then I think Pulisic's going to really have to hold the width more tonight, which is not ideal. Like, he has been so good in the central areas, but that's what's necessary with this current squad. I really, really like that this is the 11 that he went with, especially with Trusty out. I think if Trusty was here, you would have seen Trusty at left back, but I think this is the best 11 to work with Sargent as well, because with this 5 here, and especially with Musa dropping in, you got 6 players in the phase 2. Sargent doesn't need to drop in. Sargent can stay out here on the back shoulder of the defender. He can make late runs. He can get in and around the box. Every time Josh Sargent's played for the U.S. men's national team, he is being asked to do things that he's not comfortable doing. He's being asked to play the role that Pepe plays with his back to goal as a holding man, or the role that Balogun plays, which is a lot of rotations, picking the ball up wide, dribbling out defenders with the ball at his feet. That isn't the player Josh Sargent is. And if you've watched Norwich this year and how successful Josh Sargent has been, credit to him, it's been all about hanging on the back shoulder defenders, making those runs into the front post, into the back post. Incredible player in the air. So, you know what? To get the goals today, we might need to see Christian Pulisic play a little bit wider. Tessman kind of come into this area. McKennie is going to go a little bit here to the right, and then you've got basically in possession, you're going to have a 3-2-4-1 in possession. And that's what Pochettino's been doing his whole career. It's a little bit different than what we are used to seeing from Pochettino because we don't have the attacking fullbacks in this match. Like when we get Antony back, which is unfortunate without Antony, obviously such a key player for us. But when we get Antony back and when we get Dest back, yeah, you're going to see those fullbacks holding the width a little bit more. And Musa probably is a right wing who drops inside, right? Like this player is Musa and he's going to drop inside here. But that is not the plan for today, and it can't be because of the injuries. And you ask about the bench. The bench is obviously a bit of a disaster, considering we're missing Tillman. Haji Wright, who actually has come back and had an excellent match. I think he scored a hat-trick in his match for Coventry in that first match back, but they're just protecting him and his injury because, you know what, this summer we may be without Balogun, we may be without Pepe, we may need Haji Wright. And so I actually respect that we are being careful with our players. Same with Dest. We know Dest has made his return, obviously, to the PSV lineup, but we're not going to see him during this camp either. Off the bench, I mean, the options aren't great. Again, I think Ajimang will come on for Sargent. He's having a great year in the MLS. He did really well in that January camp with Pochettino. I'd like to see Diego Luna for chasing a goal. Diego Luna coming in for McKennie and playing in that more attacking midfield role, that would be absolutely excellent. And Gio Reyna, I mean, Gio Reyna just needs a little bit of confidence. I'm not sure when we see Gio Reyna get that confidence. He's been honestly just god-awful for Dortmund every time he's been called upon, but he's a different player for the U.S. men's national team. Pochettino has spoken about it quite a bit, and I expect to see Gio Reyna play at some point in this match. The issue is where does he play? Because if he's not playing as a 10, which, again, he hasn't been so comfortable with, you might see him off this right side at a certain point. Again, it really depends on the game state of where we are and what's needed. But overall, I mean, I'm excited to see this team. I think we're seeing a lot of what we expected to see. Obviously, Antony is the big miss who we thought we were going to have, and that totally changes this. But Tim Weah totally deserves to be playing. He has been playing excellently for Juventus, and it would have been really unfortunate for him to be out of the side because of, Pochettino's love for Musa, a player that I like very much as well. And Josh Sargent, we're going to get to see who, if anyone deserved a second chance, a third chance, whatever chance this is for Sargent, a fourth chance, it's probably a fourth chance, it's Josh Sargent. He's been playing out of his mind as of late for Norwich. He's been their top goal scorer. He may be the one who helps them get promoted in the long run. And so, although he has been nothing but pretty much a disappointment for the U.S. men's national team, it's his chance to really change that around. And, he can offer, again, I mentioned he's so different than Pepe and Balogun. He can offer a completely different type of striker to this side. And the more that we get to see out of that, the better. I think it's worth mentioning that Brenden Aaronson didn't even get a call-up into this squad, which probably means he's had his last chances with the U.S. men's national team. He's playing week in and week out for Leeds, who are either top of the table or second. They keep going back and forth. Obviously, Burnley up there as well. Sheffield United, another one. But if Brenden Aaronson can't make this squad with Tillman being out and all the other injuries I've already mentioned, it seems like Brenden Aaronson's U.S. men's national team days certainly are numbered. Ace, Pulisic and Weah are going to be crucial. And again, you can see, here's how most every website I looked at has us lined up, with Weah out here, Pulisic on the right, McKennie in the pivot, and Tessman as the attacking midfielder. This is what I think is going to be the lineup. Pulisic's played off the left pretty much only for the U.S. men's national team. And if you're a fan of the show, you know that I've been saying forever, he should be playing off the right. He should be playing in more central areas. That's where he's been so good for Milan. Put your best player in his best position. But for this match specifically, with the injuries to our defense, with Yunus Musa playing right back, and again, I do think it'll be Musa right back, not Weah right back, but with Musa at right back, I think you put Weah on that right-hand side, who has a little bit more defensive acumen, who's played a lot of right back this year, who can give him that help. So that's how I see it lining up. Again, there's so many different ways this could go. Yeah, Tessman could be playing as more of a 10. This could be more of a flat 3 midfield, right? Like, theoretically, this midfield could look something like this, with more of a flat 3, and Adams playing as a 6, and then you probably have Tessman as this little bit further forward player, and McKennie operating out in these right-hand spaces here, because, Musa's probably going to come in here in possession. McKennie gets up here, and then Weah gets even higher up the pitch. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's how we're going to see it. I think we're going to see this pivot that I mentioned before, that I've been talking about for weeks. I'm very excited. Hopefully my analysis has been right, and these two guys will work really well together. But this pivot, this combination of skill sets, is nothing that we've ever had at the U.S. men's national team. We have never had that combination of skill set in the midfield, and I think that's just crucial. I mean, that is game-changing situation. And Tim Ream, I can't believe Tim Ream is still in the starting lineup for the U.S. men's national team. Mark McKenzie, really hasn't done anything wrong for Toulouse in a long time. He's probably been their best defender all year, but he can't get himself into the squad. I mean, again, this is such an interesting squad overall because of the injuries. So much MLS action going on here. I mean, I expected 1 or 2 MLS players, Diego Luna, maybe Adjumeng, maybe due to the striker situation, but obviously the extra injuries that came in the last couple of days, it's shocking. And even Marlon Fossey getting into the side, I'm pretty surprised by. I mean, he's been truly, truly disappointing in the couple of matches that he has played for the U.S. men's national team. I don't think he's been great for Standard Liège when I've watched him. And Griffin Yao, I kind of thought maybe deserved to get into the side, maybe over McGlynn. I know everyone loves McGlynn. I'm not a huge fan of his skills, but again, and Brian White. I think Brian White's got to be the biggest surprise. All right, well, if you look at what the CBS Sports are putting up, they have the same lineup that I have up, except they have Tessman as the right side of the pivot. I think Tessman will be the left side of the pivot. I think they're going to want Adams on the right side. Tessman operates a lot better in those left-hand half spaces. He did have Verona with Busio when he was on his right-hand side. He does now with Matic on his right-hand side. It's interesting. Seismically, I follow Leon pretty closely, and Tessman has gotten better, probably due to the Fonseca giving more playtime and freedom. He's pretty technical for a big guy. Looking forward to the Lyon-Man United game. Yes, definitely, seismically. If you're a fan of the channel, if you watch my stuff, you know that I've been saying the same thing ever since Fonseca came in there. First of all, Tessman plays every match. So that's one massive difference in the Lyon side since Tessman came in. But number two, he's done so well when they take Matic off, and he gets to play alongside like Tolisso and Almada. And although neither Tolisso or Almada are quite as defensive as Tyler Adams is, I think that just shows the dynamism you need to put near Tessman, because he's a big dude, right? So like the movements aren't the quickest, but he is so technical, as you mentioned. And when he plays with freedom, he's really a player to watch. Wow, SoFi is empty. This is embarrassing. How many people are there? Have they said? I don't have the sound on. Anyone know how many people are there? This is embarrassing. There's nobody there. That can't be more than 6,000 people in the stadium. We have this beautiful SoFi stadium, and yet we have nobody in there watching this team. This World Cup better change how this country feels about the sport. The game is not on YouTube as far as I know, Adam. I'm watching it on Paramount Plus. I'm sure there are some of those streaming sites that people use. You think Poch is trying to pair up the Italians? Yeah. I mean, there's no reason that McKennie and Weah should not be playing off each other very, very well. They have really done so well for Juventus in a season where obviously Thiago Motta is on the chopping block. It hasn't gone to plan, but they've actually been really shining lights for that Juventus side, especially Weah since he went to right back. So it does look like we've got Musa at right back. It looks like this could be a back 5. Well, we're in possession, right? So this is that back 3 I was talking about right now. You're seeing it. Let's get rid of my formation. Oh, sorry to move that. All right, here we go. We're off. Yeah, so it's exactly as I said. You got a double pivot. You've got McKennie filling, except you've got Weah on the left-hand side all the way up the pitch. I think we may be playing in a more true back 3. This could be a 3-4-3 almost situation. Interesting. Ream as that center back obviously is going to be good with his passing range. As a PSG fan, I sincerely hope Pochettino does better with the U.S. men's national team than my team. Excruciating seeing him on the bench while our guys were getting battered even in Ligue 1. Yeah, that PSG, I mean, it's just crazy. Look at how PSG is playing this season, right? Ever since, everyone wanted Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar to work out, but this year they've got young talent. They've got, obviously, Luis Enrique, who's a great coach. It's working a whole lot better for them. This is the first year where I actually would be scared of facing them in the Champions League, although I'm an Arsenal fan. For those who don't know, we handled them quite clearly. This is a very different side. They added Kvara. It's a well-put-together side. Yeah, so you've got McKennie holding the width on the right. You've got Pulisic holding the width on the left. Oh, nice play. There's McKennie and Musa linking up. Diego Cochin turned 19 the other day. I was just thinking about goalkeepers. I mean, we really do need to get a new crop of goalkeeper. And for those who've been watching Crystal Palace, Chris Richards has been a revelation for them since December, since he came into the side. We talked a lot about available for free. I'm paying $10 a month to watch this match, Adam. Welcome to the United States. Nothing is free here. Land of the free, they call it, but nothing is quite free here. But Chris Richards has been absolutely immense. All right, now they're more settled into possession. Let's see what we've got. They're playing in a more true back 5. I mean, we'll see what happens out of possession. We get the Prem for stupidly cheap. Is it stupidly cheap? I don't know. Peacock's not that cheap. $10 a month plus a cable. Yeah, it's so empty, Ace. I cannot believe it. Have they said how many people are in there? I mean, I don't think there's 10,000 people in there. Okay, McKennie. Pulisic, pull back to Pulisic. See, that's where Josh Sargent is so disappointing, man. He is so disappointing. He cannot play with his back to goal. Like, he just can't play with his back to goal at all. It's unbelievable. Like, he's a final action player without any technical skill. Even his finishing has technique, but, like, he just panics when the ball gets to his feet. And, yes, I think he doesn't look like that necessarily with Norwich, but it's just shocking to see him every time he plays for the U.S. men's national team. I mean, he looks like Jesus Ferreira, respectfully, to Jesus Ferreira. That's who he really looks like. Wow, it is so empty in there. Oh. Tessman is such a big body. Come on, Josh. So disappointing. Anyone know much about this Panama team? I was looking through some of their lineup, but there's no way there's 20,000 people in there. It's only like a 66,000-seater stadium. Seismically, is the Monaco Stadium really always that empty? I really don't watch too much Monaco. I did when Balogun was there playing more often, but now he rarely plays. Yeah, this is SoFi. Isn't it only like 66,000? Or is it 80,000? I mean, there's nobody there. There can't be 10,000 people. 70,000, yeah. There can't be 10,000 people there. This is so embarrassing. I mean, this could be a good test for Poch. Can he get the players motivated, even with no fans in the stadium, missing half the starting 11, a competition that nobody really cares about? I mean, the Nations League, like, honestly, does anyone even care about it in Europe where there are good teams in it? Like, in the CONCACAF, if we don't win it, it's an absolute disaster. He's got Musa. Play it to Musa. McKennie. Why aren't I there? I live in New York. I would go if it was at the Meadowlands. I always had this argument with Casey, like, would we go if it was here? Yeah, I would love to go see them. So, I mean, basically what we're seeing, it seems like, in this formation, at least with possession, is, which is not necessarily what I expected. We've kind of got, like, something a little bit more like this. going on in possession, like a 3-2-4-1 in possession, which is aggressive. I like it. And this is, I mean, again, this is usually how you're going to see Pochettino line up, right? Like usually Weah is going to be Robinson, and the rest is, normally how it is. Usually this is Anthony, and then this down here is probably Ream, Richards, Scally, or Ream, McKenzie, Richards, whatever it might be back here. But it's the same concept, but he's just using Tim Weah the way that he would use Anthony Robinson, which, you know what? He wants to stick to the tactics. This is his chance to implement these tactics ahead of what's coming up. Obviously, this coming summer at the Gold Cup and then the World Cup in the future. So I respect it. But that's basically how we are seeing him line up. Sorry, I'm trying to produce the show here on the screen while I'm also hosting it. So here, let's put that lineup there. See if that. Then let me know if that's distracting. But that's basically how we're playing in possession right now. So that's how I would expect it to continue, all things assuming. Seems very Arteta with the advanced right back. Yeah, I mean, to even call what Musa's playing right back, like, this is exactly how they were playing prior to all these injuries. Like, Musa was playing this kind of inverted right mid position that got forward, but also had a lot of defensive responsibility, never really in the final third. McKennie was picking up a lot in the advanced right half spaces. Pulisic picking up in the left half spaces. So, yeah, I mean, it's basically... Now, out of possession, what do we got? McKennie kind of covering at right mid out of possession. 3-4-2. It's kind of a 3-4-2-1 out of possession. No, it's a 4-4-2 out of possession. Pulisic and Sargent. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty much classic Pochettino. Yeah, 4-4-2, 4-3-3 out of possession. It's pretty much exactly how Pochettino always lines up. Yeah, I mean, I would love to I'd love to have seen Pulisic play almost as a false nine, and if Sargent doesn't work out in this next match. I mean, already you've seen what it's like to not have a Pepe or a Balogun up top for us. Like, we don't have as much access to the central areas because he's not dragging defenders away from Pulisic, who likes to pick up the ball in those little, neater spaces between the lines. Usually you've got, a Pepe or a Balogun kind of distracting those defenders almost to allow Pulisic to get free. The same way Milan play in a lot of ways with Tammy Abraham as of late, kind of that bigger body striker who just drags center backs around and allows Pulisic to get into those empty spaces. The press looks fairly good. I mean, every time they gain a yard, we're basically pushing them back. Well done by Musa and Richards. Uh-oh. Step to him. Uh-oh. Way to go, Tyler Adams. Yeah, Richards got absolutely bullied there. Honestly, if you go look at my, from not this past week, but the week prior, my one thing with Chris Richards is, like, he's a little bit too much of this nonchalant gimmick where he's such an athletic, big-bodied, comfortable player with the ball at his feet that I feel that he does sometimes kind of lose concentration and get caught out, both on the ball and out of possession. It's very, very, very off-putting for a center back. Like that goal that he gave up to Aston Villa. Yeah, the goal they gave up to Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, 2 weeks ago. He just, like, stopped trying in the middle of what was going on. Nah, the U.S. men's national team kits for the World Cup better be better than this. These are disgusting, Adam. Let's be real. He's overrated in the sense that he's not great in the grand scheme of the sport, but he is also probably one of the best center backs the United States have ever had, just in terms of his abilities. And also, he's still pretty young, right? Like, what is he? He's 23, Chris Richards. Like, center back primes are 28, not 25. So, this is a player who's still not anywhere near. He's 24, just turned 24. Or he's about to turn 25, actually. So, yeah, I mean, he's going to be entering his prime in a year or two. I don't know. Crystal Palace is maybe his peak. I don't want to call it his peak. I don't know how much higher up I would consider him going in this, pyramid of football. But, playing with Crystal Palace is not a bad future for him. I mean, that's as high as we've had a center back consistently playing. I mean, look at Tim Ream. He had a whole career with Fulham. He was great for them, captained them. Anthony Robinson doing the same right now. He's getting them into Europe potentially this year, which would be very exciting. I think it would be exciting because, well defended. Uh-oh. Turner's got to call that out. That's got to be Turner's ball to collect there off the rebound. All right, no red cards, Tim Weah. No red cards. To not have created any goal-scoring opportunities 10 minutes in at home to Panama is not exactly the performance I was hoping for. Oh, that's a good ball. That's the issue with Tim Ream as the center back, is those balls in over the top. He's not going to be able to keep that pace with Richards. Like when you usually have Scally on the right side and Chris Richards as the center back, he's able to at least track those balls a little bit better. I think Tim Ream's going to struggle when those balls come in over the top. I think that's tough on him, Ace. I don't know if I would say he's not good on the ball at all. I think that's very, very tough on him. I think, yeah, he is not the world's best ball-playing center back, but he's pretty comfortable with the ball at both feet. He's comfortable dribbling into space. He's also a great aerial threat on corner kicks. I mean, he's been crucial to Crystal Palace scoring a couple of goals this year just with knockdowns. Very, very good in the air. I do think Richards and McKenzie is a much better center back pairing because McKenzie's more of that enforcing type. He's a little bit more physical. He's going to put a leg in. He's going to, try and kind of rough it up a little bit more, whereas Richards is trying to be that more elegant type center back. And I think Richards and Ream, they kind of struggle with the same thing sometimes. What a ball by Ream. Ream has such good passing ability. Oh, played in? Oh. All right, let's get Tessman on the ball a little bit more here. Swing it out wide, Weah. Oh, that's a poor touch. That's a poor touch by Tim Weah. The issue with playing Panama and these CONCACAF nations is there's a lot of whistles and a lot of flopping. That's the norm here. Is Panama decent, Adam? I mean, decent, that's probably the right term. What do you Here's a question. What do you consider the United States men's national team? Because I would call us decent. Panama's probably just a notch below decent. They're probably like ranked 45th in the world. That would be my guess. I don't actually know the answer. We're probably ranked like 26th in the world. So, I mean, is that helpful? I can't believe how few people are there at SoFi. It's shocking. Does anyone know if the final is also at SoFi? Yeah, that's what I would say, Adam. I mean, they don't have any, like, if you look at the roster, like, they don't have anyone playing in the Eastern Hemisphere of the globe, which is probably a little bit telling. But they are always solid in these tournaments, like Copa America. They were solid. They're solid in the Nations League. They'll be solid. I don't think they're in the Gold Cup, actually. But yeah, they're always a tough beat. They're well drilled. They're athletic. They're good on the counterattack. They're good at getting under your skin, as all CONCACAF teams are very, very good at. Struggling with central access, though. This will be a big, big issue, I think, without the likes of Anthony or Dest. One of those fullbacks who can, because Anthony helps keep that width a little bit more. Dest, obviously, we know what he can do when he inverts. And Adams versus Cardoso. I mean, that's what you get. Like, Adams is going to be a better enforcer, whereas Cardoso, when he gets the ball, is able to find those little pockets to pass in between the lines. You can feel this match is already just going to be one of these CONCACAF slogs where we luck a goal late in the match, win it 1-0, never look convincing. Maybe Berhalter wasn't the problem. How about that? Maybe it wasn't. As much as I hate Greg Berhalter. Oh, boy. That's so poor defensively. Well done by Turner to put a little pressure on it. There's definitely some cute confusion amongst this back four right now with man marking and where the line is supposed to be. Like, Richards is what? Richards is 4 yards deeper right now than the rest of the line. Ream is 2 yards ahead of Richards and Scally. We're going to get beaten behind when we do that. It's like Richards and Ream have played 50 matches together. They don't know. Like, look how much deeper Richards is than Ream. Richards is having a bit of a shocker here 15 minutes in. Not his best performance, if you ask me so far. Scally. Got to credit Joe Scally, though, man. He is so reliable, which is such a need. Yeah, we are really chancing this match. It is. The last 5 minutes have been awful. Nobody wants to take a risk on the ball. Nobody's being aggressive in the press. This is, by the way, every time we play with Josh Sargent, this is what we look like. This is why I can't stand Josh Sargent. I'm so happy that he's doing well at Norwich. Championship level striker is his level. That is his level. He's not better than that. He doesn't offer enough other than goals, and I know that sounds crazy, and I always get shit for this for like people who say like, how can you like Pepe or these types of strikers who, miss a lot of easy chances, because they offer so much off the ball and out of possession, and running off the backs of defenders, getting into the little interplay. Like, a striker needs to do more than score goals in the modern game. It's not a poacher's league anymore. It's not a poacher's world anymore. And Josh Sargent is a poacher. The championship, it very much still is. You can look at the top of the goal-scoring charts there. It's guys who score in droves, who score, 8 goals in 6 matches, and then they're mid for the rest of the 46 matches, 38 matches out of 46. Whereas we need a striker like a Pepe who consistently every game is giving you a 6, 7 out of 10 without the goal scored. Like Sargent is a 4 out of 10 without a goal scored. Every time he plays, club or country, he is a 4 out of 10 if he does not score a goal. And you cannot win with strikers like that. I don't believe you can win with strikers like that. It's what we got for well too long at Arsenal with a lot of players. Yeah, he's like Nketiah with even less athleticism and less technique. He's a championship level Nketiah. Like, I do think Nketiah can be a Premiership level striker as a rotation player. I don't think Josh Sargent will offer a team anything in the Premiership. I just have never seen that out of him, that he has those skills. He has that ability to do that. Musa has been so much better for country than he has for club this year. I mean, I know he's playing every week for club, and both managers have really talked him up quite a bit, but I know AC Milan fans aren't too thrilled with him. Correct, Adam. I mean, he was terrible for Norwich. But Norwich, literally with and without him, are a completely different team. Like, he is their beating heart. He scores ridiculous goals. It is interesting to see where Tessman is out of possession. He's a lot further forward than I would have expected him to be. This is a player who needs to be on the ball with players in front of him to find these kinds of cross-field passes. Like, look at how little the central access is. How are we going to have central access when Tyler Adams is standing alone in a single pivot? You've got McKennie. This is insane what's going on. You have McKennie, Tessman, and Pulisic all 5 yards apart from each other. Sargent can't hold up the ball. He takes a terrible touch there's no space that way. Everything dies when it goes into Josh Sargent's feet so far. He's gotten the ball into his feet 3 times. All 3 times, immediately the play has died. He's such a frustrating player in so many ways. It's infuriating. I mean, he's going to score right here just to shut me up, but he's such a frustrating player. I really, really can't with him. Pulisic's been deadly off corner kick delivery so far this year, as he sails it over the entire side. There you go. There's getting Tessman in between the lines. Sargent, good movement. Oh, Josh. That's what you need. Like, that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable if you're Josh Sargent. I know that was a good double save by the goalie and a goal line stop, but this is where Josh Sargent has gotten better for Norwich. And this is what I was saying. Like, when he's adding goals, he's very good. His movement in and around the box, he's a final action player, 100%. But it's just, you cannot not score from there. You cannot not score from there. You have to hit that with more conviction. That is just supremely frustrating to not score from there. Unacceptable to not score from there. It really is. All right, Sargent, what can you do? Watch Sargent's movement, though. It's very, very good. McKennie. Oh, great ball from Weah. All right, now we're getting into it a little bit. We're getting the ball into the central areas a little more. We're pressing high, a little bit higher up the pitch, winning those second balls. This is Pochettino's system, by the way. Winning second balls, win the ball high up the pitch, work harder than the other team, and then use the width. Use the width of the pitch, find runners in the half spaces, crosses. This is how Pochettino, watch those Tottenham teams. That's exactly how he won. Yeah, Josh Sargent is the way people feel about Darwin Nunez is the way I feel about Josh Sargent. Like, I love Darwin Nunez. I would love to have Darwin Nunez. I cannot stand Josh Sargent. He just really doesn't add anything. And he's so far he's had 5 real touches of the ball. 4 of them have completely stopped any forward progress or lost possession. One of them was a goal he should have scored. When I see something positive from Josh Sargent with the ball at his feet, I will be happy. His movement was great leading up to that, but movement only gets you so far if you're not scoring goals. Yeah, Adam, I'm worried about Poch taking the Tottenham job for sure, but it would be so crazy for him to take this job for 6 months and then the year before the World Cup take back over Tottenham, which is, by the way, like that they're not in a good shape situation. Like Romero is 100% going to leave. Van de Ven will probably leave. They have some good young talent, but like there's no core to that team. Mikey Moore is already getting frustrated by a lack of playing time. Tottenham is in a, it's not like Pochettino walks into Tottenham and like he's got the world at his feet, like where he had it when they made the Champions League final. Like he walks into a team that's going to finish 13th, who hasn't won a trophy in 18 years, and the expectation will immediately be to win a trophy that year. Like that's not really a good job. This could be a life-changing job for Poch. He wins one knockout game in the World Cup with the United States, and he's a cult hero forever, pretty much. The same way he is at Tottenham right now. Like, I don't know. You know what they say, never go back. You never go back to a job you previously had. It's worked for few, but they say not to. At least that's what I've been told. Again, I am shocked by where Tanner Tessman is taking up positions, right? Like, where's my formation builder? Like, right now you've got this going on. Like, it's like this. Like, these guys are 3 right here. You got Adams sitting behind him. Like, I don't know. Oh, you probably can't even see this. Oh, you can see it. Like, I don't know what this is, but this is not it. That is not how you're going to score goals. How are you going to get these players? You can have 2 defenders mark 3 players here. These guys are standing this close to each other. Watch the next time Adams picks up the ball here in midfield. Watch where these 3 players are standing. They're standing all within 6 yards of each other. So that means that Panama can put 2 blue shirts here and here, and you've marked all 3 of them. Tessman needs to drop here, and it needs to look more like this. This is what we talked about before. This is what it needs to look like. And then this waste of space, making some runs into the half spaces. That's really all there is to it. USA minus 150 live, Coleman? Yeah, I like USA minus 150 live. There's no way we don't win this match. Panama has had 4 minutes of decent play. Pulisic gets a little more on that, and Sargent probably misses another sitter. Yeah, it is like they're trying to overcompensate for Sargent, but he is scoring goals in the championship. He is scoring goals in the championship as much as we're ranked 16th. I should probably know that, but that's just insane. Why would we be ranked 16th? That just doesn't make any sense. Look, why is Tessman? Look where Tessman is. It's way is off by about 100 yards. No way this flag hasn't gone up. Sargent, please. Offside. Of course Sargent scores that one. Good movement again, though, from Sargent. See how he peeled off when that cross came in? You see how he peeled backwards? His movement has incredibly increased. He's gotten way, way better since his move to the championship. He's grown in a lot of confidence in that way, especially because he plays with a second striker off of him, which I think has helped him a lot in terms of finding areas where he's most successful. But watch this. This ball comes in. Watch you see how he just peeled right off the back of the 3 center backs? I know your timing is a little different than mine, but he just peels off the back of those center backs. That's good striker play. He won't score those when they count, though, I promise. I'm not a hater, but I promise. CONCACAF. These guys lay on the ground like nobody else in CONCACAF. It's an unbelievable talent they have of laying on the ground. I really do think this is a match, though, that will scream out for Diego Luna. I really sincerely hope he gets an opportunity. I'd rather watch him than Gio Reyna, because Gio Reyna doesn't do much for me in a match like this unless we're chasing a match. But if we're in this kind of 0-0 match, Diego Luna's ball carrying skills, his athleticism, his ability to receive the ball on the half turn and drive at players, Diego Luna could really do a job in a match like this. I'd really love to see him in that second half if we're at 0-0. I really think this is his opportunity to cement himself as a player. Yeah, man, I've been watching Gio. I really want Gio to work out. He's a New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker. He's the prodigy. He's all these things. I like to see Gio move to the Netherlands in the summer. I like to see him go to Feyenoord or to PSV. Maybe Tillman leaves. Maybe he goes and takes Tillman's spot there. Somewhere where he can gain some confidence back. I would have liked, this past summer he was linked with Marseille. I thought Marseille under De Zerbi could have been a great spot for him. I still think it could be a good spot for him. I think Lyon could be a good spot for him. You tell me, Ace, you say you watch a lot of Lyon. If Cherki leaves, I mean, I know Reyna's not nearly the talent Cherki is, but I think he could do a job in that team as well, or he could play the role that maybe Almada has been playing for them a little bit, just to gain some confidence. I think he could work well in that Fonseca team. I just think he needs to get out of Dortmund. Dortmund is not where he's succeeding. Look at how close Tessmann, Pulisic, McKennie, and Sargent are. They only need 4 players to mark those 4 players. He would fit good in La Liga, yeah. I don't know if he's got the... La Liga can be physical, man. I know he's a good transition player, but... I love that idea from Richards. See, Ace, I think Richards has that ability to play those balls into the channel. I don't know how much Crystal Palace you watch, but he's really impressed me when he's linked up with Sarr on that right-hand side. He's obviously asked to do a little bit less defensive work in that Crystal Palace side because of the back 5 that they play, but I've been impressed with Richards recently. He still has those moments of just falling asleep, which is obviously not going to work at center back, but I've still been very impressed by him. Oh, boy. It is crazy. Like, Matt Turner plays what? He's played 4 or 5 matches for Crystal Palace in the Cups this year. Like, it must be hard to come in here and now have to play in these matches. Like, he's got absolutely no match fitness or mentality, concentration, stamina, all those things that goalkeepers need. Goalkeepers who play, for the most part, play every single week. Like, he was asleep a little bit there. That ball could have slipped in there. This is interesting. Adams dropping into the right center back spot on a goal kick. Richards all the way out wide. I mean, where Richards is standing right now, that's where he's usually in build-up for Crystal Palace. I wonder if that has any role. Not having a true left-footed player on that left-hand side where Weah is taking up that space is severely impacting our build-up abilities. Usually Anthony is way more comfortable playing that ball up the line into Pulisic's feet. Weah keeps having to bring the ball onto his right foot, and he's unable to then make that pass forward into Pulisic. Or, if you watch, Sargent hasn't come anywhere near the build-up. He's just standing. Sargent's just standing between 5 and 3. That's just where he stands. Like, Tessmann and Adams need to get closer together. Let's see if Weah plays this ball to Musa. Yeah, he will. Just not enough. Adams is working hard off the ball, as he always does. You can never, ever comment on Tyler Adams' work rate. The guy works his cheeks off. See how close these players are? Look at how close they're all standing to each other. I know that it basically is just allowing the ball to get out wide to Musa, and that's where some good things have come from, but we need to be able to access the central areas better. But look at where the 3 players are standing. I know our timing's not exactly right, but Tessmann, Pulisic, Adams, McKennie, 3 of them are always standing within 6 yards of each other. I can't... The ball's just going side to side. The ball's just going every single time. The ball's just doing this. He's way out here. He's way out here. And the ball's just going Ream. Adams dribbles here. Musa back to Adams. Ream picks it here. Weah. Musa. It's just doing these 4 players. That passing chart's going to show that. We got to get Tessman dropping here into this area, McKennie into this area. Pulisic needs more space to operate, and then Pulisic can pop in here. Ball comes in here, goes out wide. Maybe it comes to Tessman. Pulisic pops in here. Musa gets forward. McKennie gets in here. What we're doing right now makes absolutely zero sense. These three players are being marked by two blue shirts. This is literally how we're lining up right now. I'm going to have to leave it on the screen like this because this is what we're doing. It's an absolute joke. Let's see Scally on the overlap. Not quite Anthony with the pace. Yeah, Musa's decision-making has always been the issue. And, I mean, again, Musa's another one who's like still 22, 23 years old, but that's why Milan fans have been beyond frustrated with his decision-making this year. They think it's been really subpar. Pulisic's getting very frustrated at the lack of service. He's trying to make something happen every time he touches the ball now. That's the big issue. Now played into Tessman. You think so, Joe? I don't know. Musa's playing every week for AC Milan. I agree. He hasn't been great for Milan, but like he is playing every week. They have other players who could play in that position. Him and Pulisic are pretty much playing every single week. And I mean, I can't. Milan's having just this really, really subpar season, obviously, for so many reasons. I think Leao needs to leave Milan. Like that's run its course. I think the transfer policy there has been nothing less than subpar. Like Chukwueze has been a miss. I don't know why they spent all that money on Jimenez. That was not a position of need. Who else? They bought somebody else recently that I was super. Reinders has been incredible, but who else did they buy? They just bought somebody. Oh, they just brought in João Felix. That made no sense to me. João Felix has been terrible for 2 years. I think that they need a, from where they were 2 years ago, they need a total revamp. Nonetheless, they did win a trophy this year. So on the backs of Christian Pulisic, of course. And it seems like Pulisic loves it there. So I don't think Pulisic's going to go anywhere. They should be building around Pulisic, not Leao, which is not something anyone thought. Yeah, João Felix plays for AC Milan. Yeah, it's a loan, but I think it's either an option or an obligation to buy Adam. He's one of 90 pro players at Chelsea, but yes, he's at AC Milan. He's like a money laundering scheme. He's like Murata. Like he just keeps finding his way to big clubs, even though he seemingly never delivers. JC, there will certainly be Chelsea slander. They have 89 professional players under contract, JC. 89. 89. That's more than a NFL roster. NFL roster is only 57. Plus practice squad is 65. They have 89 professional contracts. That's not even slander. That's just facts. That's just actual facts. Yeah, I definitely... Joe, they just bring in the whole U.S. men's national team. Maybe Matt Turner wants to play goalkeeper. Yeah, no, 100%, Ace. If we play like this against Mexico or Canada, you'd have to presume, though, like when you play Mexico, number one, every time we play Mexico, the intensity is so high that, like, that brings a little bit more out. Like, I don't know if that was you, Ace, saying it at the beginning, but there's nobody there. Like, this just probably feels like a bit like a training match for a lot of these players. And Joe, yeah, no, I mean, they should offload Leao for sure. Theo Hernandez, I feel like if they get the 80 to 100 million that is being rumored with him, like 100% take that money. They don't play with a 6, though, Joe. They don't really play with a 6. They play in a double pivot more. Tessman? Oh, Jesus. Joe, are you an AC Milan fan? Because I'd love to hear your thoughts on Musa a little bit more specifically. Because like from what I watch, I agree. He gets into a lot of good positions and the decision-making is not great. But I don't think he's really being put in his best position. Like he doesn't get the chance to carry much. He's a ball carrier, first off. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm the same way. I just didn't know, like, because I haven't spoken to any actual true Milan fans other than the ones who just say he's terrible. Like, he's not terrible. There's a lot to like about Yunus Musa. I mean, he literally has been a mainstay for club and country for a full year now. So obviously, those who know more than us, not that I'm saying they know more than us, but professional managers see something in him that they like. They like his intensity. The decision making has definitely been questionable, though. I mean, he's one of the main reasons they crashed out in the Champions League for a lot of reasons. I don't know. I feel like they didn't need Jimenez, though. Like you say they needed Jimenez. What is he offering more than like Tammy Abraham is offering them? I don't see there's a huge difference there. He missed in that second leg of that Champions League knockout match. He missed 2 or 3 easy opportunities for goals. In the first minute, which after that amazing Pulisic Megan ball forward, he was offside when he didn't need to be offside on a clear cross from Theo Hernandez. I don't know. I think Jimenez is a little overrated. Like I never like strikers coming straight from the Eredivisie. Although I do like Ricardo Pepi because I think he offers more than goal scoring. Like I never love a striker straight from the Eredivisie. They almost never pan out. Like Kasper Dolberg was scoring 30 goals a year in the Eredivisie, and his career just went to absolutely nothing when he moved to Nice. Like, it's just not a place to be buying strikers from. It used to be, obviously, with the likes of Ibra, Suarez, when they were there, but in the last decade or so, it's just been a breeding ground for strikers who don't make it in the top 5 leagues, for the most part. No, I agree. I agree, Joe. I think he could do well from a loan move. I don't know exactly where. It's just like, is it likely they're going to loan a player who's playing week in and week out? No, I think that's just like an unrealistic expectation at this moment. He's great in transition play. He's a great ball carrier. No, I agree. I watched that match. I saw the slander he was getting online. I'm just saying, like, the matter of the statement of fact is that he is starting every match for club and country this year. So it's hard to be like, we're getting opportunities. We like opportunities. I don't really care if Milan win. I'd like to see our players, consistently playing in top 5 leagues and getting the experience to see if they have what it takes to continue their career and continue to grow. Like, I'd rather Musa doing what he's doing than what Reyna's doing at Dortmund, right? Like, that's a much better situation as far as I'm concerned. Meanwhile, I don't know if you guys are also, Joe, I don't know if you watched a lot of Reyna at Dortmund, but yeah, Reyna's correct. All right, we're on the same page there. Reyna is a complete dumpster fire. I did a video on Reyna's performance in that 6-0 win against Augsburg about how he's being asked to play as a 10, and all he does is hide from responsibility. He keeps trying to go out wide. He keeps running away from the ball. He makes the wrong moves off the ball. Plays no forward passes when he needs to. Like, all the things were like of a player lacking confidence. And everyone in the comments is like, you don't know, that's not what he's being asked to do by the manager. That's what he's being asked to do by the manager. No matter what position you play, you're not asked to do that. You're not asked to hide from responsibility, be too slow to play transition passes. He has just completely lost. He's a shell of himself. He needs to go play somewhere where he can have freedom on the ball, have time on the ball, get the confidence back of the player he is, because we all know he's got a lot of talent. There's no question about the talent. It's about applying yourself in the right areas. Oh, boy. All right. Chris Richards actually made a good defensive play there. I don't think Gio would have an impact at Milan. I think he should go a little bit lower of a level than Milan. I'm going to be honest with you, Ace. I think he should go play in the Eredivisie or maybe Ligue 1. I think those are the leagues where he could be super successful with a little more time and space on the ball. I don't know about MLS. MLS seems to me like he'll never get that intensity back. Like, he needs to get the intensity back in his game that he had as a younger player. He used to drive at players with the ball. He used to play in transition really well. He used to be a transitional monster. But he has lost that. He's become a glorified dead ball specialist who's not even good off dead balls. Like, he's just really become an absolute shell of himself. What a touch by McKennie. I have the sound on very low. He's not quick and agile. I think it's an intensity thing, though, Joe. I really do. Because he's young. He hasn't had any major injuries. I know he's had a lot of those niggling injuries. But, I mean, if you look, his injuries have been very similar. Our midfield is nowhere because if you look, do I have it up on the screen the right way? Yeah, our midfield is nowhere because look at how we're playing. This is what our midfield looks like right now, Ace. We're playing with 3 guys standing next to each other, 2 wing backs playing high and wide, and a number 9 who doesn't want to get involved in build-up. It's basically Tyler Adams and Tim Ream passing back and forth to each other in our midfield. That's what our midfield is right now. Anyway, back to Gio Reyna. I just think he's lost the intensity that he had as a young player. And honestly, like, Pulisic had the same issues in this second year and third year at Chelsea after the COVID year when he was so good. Pulisic had a lot of the same issues. He lost a lot of intensity. He lost a lot of confidence. He had a couple of injuries here and there. Couldn't get a constant run of games. Went to Milan and refound all that form he had as a youngster at Dortmund. Like, the player is still inside of him. Like, there's no way it's gone. I mean, it reminds me a lot of Smith Rowe. I think I had started saying that and lost my train of thought. But I'm not sure if you follow Arsenal at all. But Adam, I know, is a big Arsenal fan as well. I'm a big Arsenal fan. Smith Rowe obviously was a player who played with great transitional ability, lots of intensity on the ball, liked to carry, liked to try things out, got into the box, scored goals. Then he had 2 years straight of just constantly small injuries, these constant small injuries, kept him off the pitch. Then he came back, was somewhat healthy for 6 months, had absolutely no confidence or intensity. Change of system, change of team, goes to Fulham. He's found a lot of that back, that running power back. You're wrong, Joe. Gio Reyna has abilities to be explosive on the ball. He 100% has abilities to be explosive on the ball. He was when he was younger. He just has lost that confidence in himself. And I think he gains it back by trying to go back into that more traditional 10 role and having a little more space on the ball. But right now, teams are just playing so far off of him and not worried about him in space that you're not able to showcase any of his talents. All right, seems like we actually have changed it up a little bit. Scally's gone a little bit wider in possession. Tessman's come a little bit deeper. Let's see. Pulisic and Way on the same side. I don't know if that's an experiment that's really working. If I'm going to be honest, I don't find that this experiment's working over there. Come to the Josh, you're not going to do anything out on this right-hand side. I have no idea how much the tickets were for this game. I bet they were $100 to get in the door just because SoFi is so ridiculous. McKinney, we don't need to try a back heel flick on the edge of the box. We need to get a goal here. Yeah, it's the first time we strung passes through the middle because we finally dropped into the right formation. We got Scally out here. Tessman dropped in here. Adams here. Pulisic up here. And McKennie here. That's how you want it to be. That's the formation that we want to see. Gives space for Ream to spray the ball. Musa high and wide. Pulisic and McKennie actually in some space. And not Tessman just standing here in between them. Has there not been a yellow card yet in this match? It's been 900 fouls. This is the most CONCACAF match of all time. Yeah, the ticket prices difference between here and the UK, Adam, is night and day, man. Yet you guys complain when like a season ticket is £60 a match. Like season tickets to any sport here, you're not getting for less than £60 a match to like the worst teams. Like it's the way you guys complain about tickets is absolutely insane. Like, come live here for a year, you'd have $0 after going to sporting events. The PSV home match, the cheapest ticket was £72? To watch the most boring thing ever. I mean, that was the most boring match ever. That is kind of shocking. I'll give you that. Musa's been completely taken out of this game after he was great in that first 10, 15 minutes. The exchange rate's bad is what it is, JC. I'm telling. I think you got to bring on Diego Luna early in this second half. You need a ball carrier who wants to drive at this team, who wants to pick the ball up from deeper and drive. I really like to see Diego Luna come on. I like Tessman's impotence to go get the ball. Just to try something. Is this the Canada match is right after this, yeah? I mean, that should probably be a better watch. That'll have some intensity. Go forward with it, Musa. Go forward with it. Adams, come into the space, Adams. Wow. That's one of the worst 45 minutes I've watched in a long time. That is really one of the worst 45 minutes I've watched in a very, very long time. I mean, there's really no excuse for that. There just isn't. This is a must-win match at home. I don't care that there are no fans there. Pochettino's not going to be happy with the way that, look, they are all arguing about where they're supposed to be. There's a lot of confusion. I mean, I know the excuse is that we are without our true players, but without the players that we'd normally have, let's say. But nonetheless, we had too much of this going on. Way too much of this going on. Cannot have this. Josh Sargent hasn't moved. I'm gonna need to pull up a heat map of Josh Sargent because Josh Sargent hasn't moved. I don't mean to be a Josh Sargent hater, but I'm just gonna need to pull up a heat map of Josh Sargent. Moment, please. One moment, please. I'm pulling up a heat map. Lineups. Josh Sargent with a 6.2. Let's talk about Josh Sargent. Let's see. Let's add a screen capture. Okay. Turn it off for right now. Window capture. Josh Sargent stats. One second. 1 second on Josh Sargent's stats here. Sofa score. Okay. And then properties. Sorry. Again, producing and hosting. There's going to be some delays here. Let's just get rid of 100 here. Okay, ready? Josh Sargent. Here's where Josh Sargent's picked up the ball. He cleared a header. He's got 2 passes. 2 of 2 passing. This is our number 9. 2 of 2 passing against Panama. 2 of 2 passing. Hold on. Let's move this over here so you can see me as I lose my frickin' mind over this. 1 second, please. Okay. 2 of 2 passing. 2 of 2. 8 touches. 8 touches. 8 touches. We've dominated possession. Our striker has 8 touches. 0 successful dribbles on 2 attempts. So that's the 2 times he lost the ball. 1 big chance missed. We all saw the 1 big chance missed off the post. 1 of 4 ground duels won. So lost possession twice. He's touched the ball once here. That was kickoff. He touched the ball kickoff here. Okay, that doesn't count. This is a cleared header. That doesn't count. 3 times he's received the ball here and lost the ball. This is the missed big chance. But Joe, he's the number 9. He needs to be a focal point in our build-up. What I would agree with you, Joe, I would agree with you, except for the fact that if you watch this team with Balogun and Pepe, they enforce themselves onto the match. They come to the ball. They show to the ball. They make runs in. Then the next run they make in behind. They vary their runs off of the ball. Sargent is just standing between 2 center backs. All he's doing is standing between 2 center backs. He's not making any vertical runs. Like, think about players like Darwin Nunez, like Kai Havertz. These are the kinds of players who miss a lot of big attempts. But what they do is they add a vertical ability to the game by constantly pushing the center backs back. They make these runs into the channels to constantly push the line back to create space in the center of the park so that their best players can pick up the ball in more space. Josh Sargent is just standing right here. He's just standing right here between 2 center backs. He needs to do more. I'm sorry. He has to do more. Let's look at... that's international friendly. Where's the Jamaica match? Yes, Jamaica match. Pepe, right? Let's look at Pepe. Look how many places Pepe pops up to get on the ball here. All over the place. Non-stop. All over the place. Let's look at this match. Let's see where Pepe is. Look at the heat map. All over the place. He is through the central areas. He stays in the lines of the box for the most part. But he is constantly showing to the ball. Josh Sargent. This is Josh Sargent. Doing nothing. Nothing. Pepe. 17 of 19 passing. 36 touches. 21 touches. Constantly making himself available and known. Whether or not it turns into anything. Constantly making himself a part of the game. 8 touches and a half against Panama. 8 touches. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. Can't have a number 9 who does that. Absolutely unacceptable. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You can't do it. I'd like to see Ajiming right now. I don't know. I mean, I've given everything I can to Josh Sargent. I've watched him for 6 years, 7 years at this point. I'm done. I'm done with Josh Sargent. Enough Josh Sargent. No more Josh Sargent. It's enough. No, he can't. That's the thing, Ace. Like, I agree. Josh is a clinical finisher. I agree. He has been very good for Norwich as of late. I'm not taking that away from him. But every time he shows up for the U.S. men's national team, he is unable to produce what he's producing for Norwich. I'll bring it back up. Let's look at Josh. Right? Josh is a very good goal scorer for Norwich. I'm going to bring back up. 1 second. Let's look at a recent match of Josh Sargent's. What order is this in? Here. Let's look at his match against Norwich, against Bristol City. Let me open it back up. Against Bristol City. Right? This is a match against Bristol City, who I believe are in like mid-table. 7th. 57 points. Right around where Norwich are. Norwich are on 49 points, so a little bit of a better side. The statistics in this match. Norwich dominated possession in this match. Okay? 2.66 XG. Norwich were excellent in this match. Unlucky not to win it. Got a late goal. Josh Sargent only had 20 touches in 90 minutes. That's the kind of player he is. 20 touches in 90 minutes. He doesn't score a goal. Okay, let's look against Sheffield Wednesday. Another loss. Again, Norwich win possession. Where's Josh? Did he not start this one? He did not. 4 touches, though, in 20 minutes chasing a match. I don't know, man. This isn't the player that he is. He is not a player who gets involved in build-up. I watch a lot of Norwich. Yes, Coleman. Josh scores. He hit it off the post and had a perfect goal, but it was offside. Yeah, okay, well, the offside was way up further in the build-up. That doesn't, without VAR, this new bullshit, that he never gets that touch. None of that happens. The last time he scored for the national team, I did this recently. Hold on. The last time he scored for the national team, oh man, where is this? I have a list of all the players who have scored since 2019. Yes, I have a list. I'm the number one Josh Sargent hater. Let me find the list. I have it somewhere in my notes. Where is it? Oh, I'm never gonna find this, am I? The last time he was in camp, he was in the camp in October. He was in the camp. And September, I believe. I believe he was in both camps. I could be wrong, but I believe he was in both camps. Listen, Joe, I respect your love for Josh Sargent, but here, okay, I'm gonna pull up his transfer market. That's even easier. We don't have to argue. I can just pull up the facts. This is a facts-only podcast. I'm not going to be making anything up here. I'll be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I believe he was in the last couple of camps. National team. Hold on. I'm going to change this so you can see me doing it. Moment, please. National team. Okay. Ready? Josh Sargent. Okay. He played in October against Mexico and Panama. He played 60-plus minutes in both matches. 60. Let's go look. Should we go look at those matches? Let's see how we did. Let's see how we did in those matches. Joe, 1 second. Let's see. These matches were so boring because they didn't matter at all. 19 touches. 7 of 7 passing. 1 shot on target. Let's see how we did against Mexico. The game could be back on. I don't know. Someone tell me if the game's back on. I'm not looking. 13 touches against Mexico. I rest my case, Joe. I rest my case. No, yeah, Ace, this is his last chance. This is the way, it was the same thing with Brendan Aronson. Brendan Aronson had his chance in October and November. He did nothing with it, and it doesn't matter that he is playing. It doesn't matter that he is playing every week for Leeds. What matters is that he can't do it for the U.S. men's national team. So Josh was in the camp in October. He was with the Copa America group. He was at the World Cup. He started 2 out of the 3 matches. He started 2 of the 3 group stage matches. Played against Japan in a friendly. He started. He played in World Cup qualifiers against El Salvador, Canada, Honduras. Started 2 of those 3 matches. Didn't score. He was in the Nation League semifinal and final. Started both of those matches. Didn't score. He was in the international friendlies against Switzerland and Jamaica. Started both those matches. Didn't score. Then he scored against Cuba in November of 2019. This is not a player who can start for the 16th ranked team in the world. If we're the 16th ranked team in the world, whatever that means, we need a goal scorer who can play for us as a starting number 9, as a backup number 9, as a backup number 9. This is not a player that can play for the U.S. men's national team. And yeah, I'm sure he'll shut me up and score in the second half, but our number 9 at the World Cup will be Balogun. It will be Folarin Balogun, assuming he's healthy. Balogun's going to leave Monaco this summer because Mika Biereth has burst onto the scene as those of us. I am a hater, Joe. I never said I wasn't a hater, but my hate isn't blind. It comes from facts. Listen, in 2018, you never met someone who liked Josh Sargent more than me in 2018. I want it to work out for Josh Sargent, and I will continue to watch him play at Norwich because I like to see him doing well in the championship. But he's a championship-level striker, and that is fine. That's totally fine. I have no problem with that. The championship is probably the second best league to watch in the world after the Premier League. I think it's loads of fun to watch. So much fun to watch. But he is not a number 9 for the U.S. men's national team. Yeah, 100%. I feel brokenhearted by Josh Sargent. I was sold lies, as I would with a lot of that generation of players. Like that 2017 to 2021 generation of players, I feel like we kind of thought there were some better players in there than there were. We were kind of coming off the back of the Klinsmann days, Beckerman and Jones and obviously Donovan and Dempsey. Like it felt like Josh Sargent was like this next level of player coming out of a European academy. Yeah, Joe is in denial. Joe hates Yunus Musa but loves Josh Sargent. First person I've ever met who feels that way about that. Like Yunus Musa has been loved everywhere he's gone. And I have a little Yunus Musa bias. I'll be honest. He was an Arsenal Academy player. I've been watching him since he was 16. I have some bias there. But he offers more even though his decision-making is bad. Like, Josh Sargent actually was playing against us in that first half. That's the issue with Josh Sargent. Like, he's actively doing nothing helpful. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to say someone's actively doing something bad. But in a game with 60% possession, what did I say he had? 9 touches? 7 touches? Do I have to go look again? He had 4 touches in that match. Where is it? Here we go. He has 8 touches. Can't have 8 touches. We don't need Josie Altidore. You want to know why? Because Patrick Adjumang is better than Josie Altidore, and he's going to prove it. I like Patrick Adjumang. He's a big-bodied. He's what everyone thought like Daryl Dike was going to be. Patrick Adjumang should get an opportunity in this game. He's the kind of player who will stretch the lines. He's getting into those vertical spaces, big body, drags defenders with him wherever he goes. He's impossible to ignore. Josh Sargent, at the end of the day, is a little bitch. That is the truth. He is a little bitch. That's the truth about Josh Sargent, and I'm sad to sit here and say that because I don't want to be an anti any U.S. men's national team player, but Josh Sargent just stinks. He stinks. And we've wasted all of halftime talking about Josh Sargent, which is unhelpful. I understand that, but I'm frustrated that I continuously have to watch him for the U.S. men's national team because I was sold a lie when I was told that we had Balogun and Pepe. I didn't expect them both to get injured at the same time. That's a worst case scenario because those two players are both very, very good and could really be doing us a service in a match like this. Oh, man. A rant like that will really give you a headache, I'll tell you. It really will. Looking at our bench, who do people want to see? I mean, I think we'll see Adjumang. I think we'll see Diego Luna. I guess we'll see Gio Reyna because who else will we see? But I don't know. I don't think you'll see Fossey. I don't think you'll see Cameron Carter-Vickers. I mean, Scally has to play the whole match. We don't really have another player who can step in at left back unless somebody thinks Cameron Carter-Vickers can, or Tim Ream can't play left back, surely. What are you flabbergasted by, Ace? I'm there's a little recency bias. Altidore just was so bad in Europe. What do you have? 1 in 62 for Sunderland? Was that his record? Something like that? I kind of lost all respect for Altidore at that point. Like, second half of his career, even for the U.S. men's national team, was so highly disappointing. I love Josie growing up, though. I definitely love Josie. Josie was the boy growing up. Meanwhile, that team accomplished more with less talent than this team has yet so far. I mean, the talk every camp is, when will this team get its, its big win, its signature win, its United States moment? It's not going to be this international break because no one cares about this. I guess its signature moment would be going to the Gold Cup and just dominating, actually being great on the ball. No, Marlon Fossey is terrible. If you think I don't like Josh Sargent, watch till if Marlon Fossey comes on the pitch. Watch how I react. I think Marlon Fossey is awful. He's one of the worst players I've ever watched play. Truly a shocking player. Joe, you must love Marlon Fossey, Joe. What are your thoughts on Marlon Fossey? You and I haven't agreed much other than on Gio Reyna. Joe, I'm with you, man. I think everything you said in that statement, he scores almost every game for Norwich. Agreed. He's the 4th leading goal scorer in the championship, and he missed 3 months. I agree with you. He's a great player in the championship. He's great when the game is open. But that is not going to be the state of play for the United States at any point in any match that they play in. When they play against teams like Panama, they're going to sit deep. They're going to play CONCACAF, smash and grab, flopping football, stopping the clock, no transition. When we play better sides, we're going to have teams dominating possession. We're going to need a target man that's going to allow us to play out from deep. But Josh Sargent isn't a target man. He's not going to win aerial duels. He's not good in build-up. He's not going to be able to play off of Pulisic. He doesn't add any of that stuff. I don't know what Josh Sargent can add to this type of team. I just don't see it. I mean, yeah. Pulisic's having a tough go of it today. Now he's trying to get into the right half spaces because him and Weah cannot operate together on that left-hand side. Not going well at all. This is what I need to see, by the way, in this half. Tanner Tessman getting on the ball in deeper areas and forcing himself into the match. Imagine we got Cheeto. Oh, man. No, we have good strikers. Like, I'm not worried about a striker position. Like, Balogun and Pepe, one of them at least will be healthy for the Gold Cup. Maybe both. And both of them are very, very good. They both play top-level Champions League football. They score goals for their club. They score goals for country. They offer a lot in and out of possession. We don't have a striker issue. Like, let's just be clear. That's why I don't really, I'm not too worried about Josh Sargent. This just further locked in the fact that Josh Sargent shouldn't ever even be called up again. Like, he does not offer anything. I'd rather have Haji Wright than Josh Sargent. I will die on that hill. And I have said that for 2 years. I would rather have Haji Wright than Josh Sargent. Offers more on the ball. Offers more. He can play out wide. He can receive the ball out wide. He doesn't need to just poach goals. And look, Josh Sargent, is he going to probably score from this corner kick? Yes. That's the way it goes when I shit talk somebody. But Musa. Way has got to be off. Why does this always need to be refreshed? I never really understand that. %61 possession. What do we even have a shot on goal? Right? We don't have a shot on goal, do we? Oh, we do have a shot on goal. Oh, yeah, the Josh Sargent one that got saved. Duh. Joe, what are your thoughts on Marlon Fossey? Because there's no way you like Marlon Fossey. He's unwatchable. All right, good. We're back on the same page. That's what I'm saying, Adam. You can't play with that. I mean, Pochettino is literally the guy who taught Harry Kane to drop deep and create. Like, that's what Pepe and Balogun specifically does super well for the U.S. men's national team. And he plays so well. Like, that Balogun-Pulisic combination will work so well in this system. All right, now we're getting a bunch of corner kicks. Let's put one in the box. We don't need to go short. Pulisic's been so good on corner kicks this year for Milan after years of being terrible off of a dead ball. I'm excited for that match tomorrow, Adam, that England match. You're not going. Is it at Wembley? I don't even know if it is or not. I hope Miles starts. That'd be awesome. And I think the U21s play tomorrow too. We're going to watch Ethan. It is at Wembley, yeah? No, man, I mean, that'll be fun. New manager hype is always fun, and obviously Tuchel, I mean, that's a huge name, so should be great. I mean, what is this? This goes extra time, then penalties? I assume so, right? That's got to be. We can't possibly... Yeah, I know. I saw it's at West Brom. We can't possibly be watching another extra 30 minutes of this. All right, Tim? Yeah, that's got to be a yellow card. Shoved him in the back. No foul. Okay. The way CONCACAF works is you only get those calls if you're not from the United States. If you flop, you get a call if you're from any other country. I mean, full extension of the arm into his back. Comes from behind. This is very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Tyler Adams has been incredible today. He really has just been awesome. Let's see what Tyler Adams did in that so far in this match. 42 of 43 passing. 3 out of 4 successful long balls. One ground duel. He's just been great, though. Just covered so much ground. Just such a rock. Tyler Adams, every time Tyler Adams is healthy, he is good, no matter where he plays. Right back, plays as a lone six, plays in a double pivot. He's just one of those types of players. Like, you can just count on him. He never puts in a bad performance. I really can't think of the last time I saw Tyler Adams and thought that was a bad performance. And that's what happens when you play with intensity every time you step out onto the pitch. Like, that's really all that it takes. Extra time, then pens. Yeah, that's what I figured out. I really don't want to watch extra time. Like, you wait 5 months to watch the U.S. men's national team play, and then they put in a performance like this. Like, you wonder why it doesn't grow. The game doesn't grow in this country. Like, it's just so frustrating. Anyone watching the March Madness games as well that can give me an update on some of the scores? Yeah, Messi. Messi, who plays once every 3 weeks, and you buy tickets to a match and show up, and then they decided he's not playing. Tyler Adams is so good. I mean, man of the match so far from Tyler Adams. Really unbelievable. It's crazy that I even had a conversation mentioning that he may not be in the squad for the 2026 World Cup. If he is healthy, he is starting. And it's sad because Johnny Cardoso is just having an unbelievable season and will make a move to either Tottenham or a big club this summer. But Tyler Adams is just, I mean, he's just so crucial to the way that Pochettino wants to play. Drake beating Mizzou 10-7. Who did I disrespect, Ace? Messi? It's no disrespect to Messi. He's 40 years old. He should take some time off. But I can't imagine Messi's helping grow the game here. I just don't believe that. That's like just some MLS PR. Arkansas winning. All right. Thank you, JC. All of those are good results for me so far. Appreciate ya. I'm not disrespecting Messi, Ace. I don't mean any disrespect to the GOAT. Let me be very clear. Yeah, I mean, Wooford isn't winning. That's no big shock. Thank you, JC. Oh, I should probably put the sound back on this game. These guys are 37, yeah. Moves like he's 40. I mean, listen, I when Messi plays, I watch for the most part. I watched the opening night game against NYCFC. I actually have a buddy whose younger brother was a rookie drafted at NYCFC, plays left back for them. So I was watching that one. I mean, Messi still has it. He still pulls the strings, but he doesn't even really play if he doesn't have the ball. You know what I mean? I am worried about Ream. Joe, I don't know if you were here at the beginning. There's no question to me that Tim Ream cannot be the starter at the World Cup. He can't move anymore. Although his passing range is excellent, it should be McKenzie and Richards 100%. You need that enforcer type that McKenzie is to go alongside Richards, and you're not taking Richards out of the squad. Are you a MLS fan, Ace? Do you have a team? Whereabouts are you located? Are you located in the United States? I 100%. Ream is going to be in the squad for the World Cup just because he's a leader, going to be in the squad. But I just don't think you can rely on him against, I mean, you put him in a 1v1 with any of these wingers at top nations in the world, he's going to get beat. He has looked terrible for Charlotte this year, given he's being asked to play left back. So I'm not really sure what the thought process is there. And you can see what he still gives to the side. I think he'll be used at the World Cup, but I don't think you can have him play 90 minutes 3 times in 8 days at a World Cup when he's going to be 40 years old. I don't think that makes any sense. You need to be, McKenzie and Richards need to be playing together. Or Noah Kai. Oh, Scally. I don't know if you know, Adam, I know you're not really a big USA fan. Nice, Ace. You should have gone to this game, Ace. Where in Cali are you? But Noah Kai Banks is an exciting young center back who's been playing for Augsburg. Super athletic, tall, lanky, covers a lot of ground, nice passing range, really likes to dribble into space, who I'm hopefully is being recruited right now and is going to be a U.S. men's national team player. So he's I don't think he'll be a starter at 18 at the World Cup. I think he's 17 right now, but a good, exciting player for the future as well in our defense. We have a couple. Archie, holy cow, I just lost his name. Yeah. No, there's definitely a few that will. Arnie Chase, my God. Thank you. I just had a complete brain fart. Arnie Chase, another dual national that will be trying to get locked down. So, I mean, there's some hope at center back for at least 1 or 2 more options. Yeah, I don't watch too much MLS either, Ace. First of all, I don't buy the Apple TV subscription, so I only get the Sunday games, which I think are all free, the Sunday games. But I'll go to NYCFC once or twice a year, and I just moved to Jersey, so maybe I'll go to Red Bulls. But no, I mean, I watch enough of the sport as is. Most of my watching happens between 7 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, so I don't really have time to watch more during primetime hours here in the U.S. No, that's clean. Richards has gotten a lot better, Ace, in this match. He's grown into this match, don't you think? I know you're not a Richards fan, but... Oh, swing that, McKennie. Play it wide. Too slow. Everything is too slow. Pick up the pace. Yeah, I know, Adam. I'm dying to get over there. I may be coming this summer, of course, when there's not a match. So that's how it goes. Although I will be going to Munich if we're in the Champions League final. I can promise you that. We need to pick up the pace here. I want to see Diego Luna. What subs you guys want to see? Anyone you're looking to see other than maybe Diego Luna or Adjumang? I mean, nobody here is dying to see Gio Reyna, which is crazy. I feel like for 18 months, under Berhalter, we were all crying out to see Gio Reyna. Let's show us Gio Reyna. Put on Gio Reyna. Start Gio Reyna. Nobody even cares to see Gio Reyna anymore. It's crazy how quickly the hype can die over a player after just, injuries and not being involved. I mean, look at how we're set up right now. It's incredibly frustrating. Yeah, dude, Johnny has been awesome, man. And also since Bettis. Oh, Tim Weah, hold on one second. Hold that thought. Since Bettis got Anthony, I know that sounds crazy because I am an Anthony hater, but since they've added Anthony, they have taken it up a level. Like Isco, Anthony, Johnny, they have been unbelievable to watch together. Like genuinely one of the most fun teams to watch in Europe over the last 2 months. I've really, really enjoyed it. I never thought I would say that about Anthony or Bettis, but it's been a pleasure to watch them play. It's cool to have them on my extra screen. Like I usually have them on, Milan on, Juventus on my extra screens all the time. I mean it's way better than what it was like 2-3 years ago. It was like trying to watch Schalke and Hoffenheim and where else were players? I'm trying to even think. Mitchell, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. If you're new, you want to see McGlynn? Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to like about Jack McGlynn. I thought it was a little surprising to see him called up. Are you an MLS fan? Do you watch a lot of MLS? Are you a Houston fan? Why McGlynn specifically? Do you want to see him, or you're just a big fan of McGlynn's? I'm just looking at his page. I didn't know he was born in New York. Love to see that. I thought he was a little underwhelming, to be honest, at the Olympics, McGlynn. A lot of players stood out to me. Obviously, Kevin Paredes, it's been unfortunate with him being injured all year, but he obviously was amazing. Griffin Yao, who I thought would get more shouts, was great. I don't know. I wasn't overly thrilled with McGlynn's performances. I also think, I know that we're likely not going to get Benjamin Kramashi because I'm pretty sure he's going to choose Argentina from what I've been reading. But, right? Is that... Do people feel that that's the case? I thought he was already cup tied to us, but Timbers fan, awesome. I guess you're from Portland. Yeah, I mean, these MLS guys maybe come on with something to prove, like maybe they bring a little intensity. I mean, these guys are playing with such little intensity. Sure, if Jack McGlynn's going to come on, that's why I wanted to say Adjumang and Luna. That was a dive by Musa. There's just no access to the center. I think it's got to be Luna for Tessman any minute now. Yeah, Luna. I mean, everyone wants Luna. Give us what we want, Pochettino. Put on Diego Luna, for God's sakes. I've been waiting forever for him to get a call up. Let's see him play a little bit. I would even maybe bring on Luna and take Weah off. You can move Pulisic wider. Weah's he's been fine. I mean, nobody's bringing. We need some fresh legs out there who are going to bring some intensity. I would just like to get Sargent off the pitch as soon as possible. Joe's gone awfully quiet since my Sargent rant. You think he's going to stay with the U.S.? I was reading something that said he might not. He's a good player, man, Kremeshi. Really, really liked watching him. I was surprised he didn't get more opportunity at the World Cup. At the World Cup, at the Olympics. Gio. Yeah, Weah's he's not a striker at the end of the day. Like, he'll stretch the lines a little bit, but I just want to see Adjumang because of the profile. We just have had no central access, Mitchell. I like Pulisic as a central attacker the way he's been playing for Milan when he's able to kind of peel off of a second striker. I don't think he works centrally with Sargent as the striker. It really limits him. He's not able to get into 1v1s. He's not able to drive at defenders. He's not able to find the space that we've been used to seeing him find. I would take Sargent off, put Adjumang on, and then you can move Pulisic, keep him centrally. Or if you're going to keep Sargent on, then I think Pulisic needs to get out wide to get into more space, to get on the ball. Every time Pulisic turns, there's two defenders waiting for him there because of how tight we're playing. Centrally, there's no space to operate in. Man, Tessman has not been great either. Oh. I mean, Pulisic's really, really struggling for in the first one to that ball. How? Tell me how Sargent wasn't the first one to that ball. I mean, this is going exactly how Panama wanted to go. But see there, like Sargent finally made a run in behind. Adam. Sargent finally made a run in behind there, and that ball fell. If there was Pulisic waiting underneath there, then you've got an attack created from just a run. Even if he doesn't make something happen, even if he's not great in build-up, he at least tried to make a different run. It sounds like, from what I'm hearing, Ajimang is about to come on, so... Sargent, 65 minutes of Sargent is all Pochettino needed to know. He's never playing for the U.S. men's national team again. Sad. Come on, Reem. Watch Pochettino keep Sargent on. That would be really frustrating. Listen, I mean, you don't call somebody up to the national team unless you're prepared to play them, and he's prepared to play Patrick Ajimang, which he should be. He's been great over the last year. He really has been. He's burst onto the scene. And I never thought I'd be saying that about an ML. That's got to be well off. Joe, just let the Josh agenda die, man. I'm sorry. He's not going to be in the World Cup squad. He's not going to be able to be the MVP. No, here's what I was saying, Mitchell, a little bit earlier in the first half is like, number one, look at how empty the stadium is. Like, there is legitimately no intensity in the stadium. It feels like a training match. U.S. just never got up for it at all. Two, no, if we play like, oh, that's good to know, Ace. Two, no, if we play like this, no, we're not going to beat Mexico or Canada. But like when we play Mexico, it's a completely different game. It gets super physical. The players get super up for it. It's a big rivalry. You know, it's just a different. It makes a big difference. It really does. And they're gonna, Mexico and Canada aren't gonna sit back like this. They're gonna try and play at us a little bit more. There's gonna be more space. They're not gonna sit in a 10 men behind the ball situation. So, I think that's really the big difference. But no, we're going to have to bring it up a level for sure. Well, Mitchell, you're getting what you want. Jack McGlynn's coming on. I wonder who he's coming on for. The guy who was the last call-up is going to be the first player subbed on. That's super, super interesting. I guess, he replaced Johnny, so I guess the idea is this is, it's got to be Tessman coming off, or it's not going to be Adams. It's got to be Tessman coming off. Right? Tessman for McGlynn. I would have rather seen Luna, but here we are. McKennie has been awfully disappointing in this match as well. A couple of early touches that were good, but I think Scally and Adams have been our best players. Other than that, I really haven't been impressed by much. Richards has grown well into the game. No, Adams isn't on a min account. He's been playing quite a bit for Bournemouth. Even at Bournemouth, he's on no minutes count whatsoever. I can't imagine he's on a restriction. All right, Ajimang for Sargent and McGlynn for, it's got to be Tessman. Yeah, Ace, of course they're going to sit back this whole match. If they get to penalties at 0-0, they've done exactly what they wanted. Yeah, Tessman and Sargent have probably been the two worst players. So that sub makes sense. It's crazy with all the success, though, we're having in Europe with Americans that we're still putting on two MLS players as our power subs. This feels like Jordan Morris coming on. All right, let's see if these guys... Jack McGlynn and Patrick Ajimang are two players with a hell of a lot to prove to Pochettino right now. I'm not sure if Christian Pulisic's ever heard of Jack McGlynn, but he will have today. I don't think the graphic said that here, Adam. I don't think we have the same one. Yeah, we're definitely missing. I said that early on. The fact that our person holding the width on the left side is a righty has completely changed the dynamics of the way that we play. I mean, obviously, Anthony is specifically super dynamic, athletic, speedy, pacey, everything that you want from an attacking fullback. But Weah is just not comfortable carrying the ball down that left side the way that he is on the right side. Like, Weah has a lot of those same abilities as Anthony in terms of burst, in terms of dribbling into space, swinging crosses in, but he's not comfortable doing that on his left foot. That's why I thought we'd see Weah on that right-hand side. He's been doing that at right back for Juventus super well. Super, super well. All right, McGlynn. Yes, no, that's what I'm saying. I agree. Like McGlynn, same concept as Tessman. Adjuming's a little bit of a different type of striker. Let's see if he kind of grows into the game, tries to stretch the lines, use his physicality a little bit, put his ass into one of these defenders. But no, I don't think McGlynn for Tessman's doing a whole lot in terms of changing the dynamics. Luna is a dynamic changing player. I mean, I know I've said Luna's name about 47 times, but I really would like to see Diego Luna. I'm not too familiar with Waterman's game here coming on, but I do. I mean, Johnny Cardoso would be you normally, but not on this current bench. No, I mean, this current bench is lacking another 6 for sure. I'm not sure there's a 6 on the bench here at all. No, there is not really a 6 on the bench here at all. No, Cardoso and Tessman, yeah, I mean, I don't think Adams is coming out. I'm going to be honest with you. Guy plays 90 minutes for Bournemouth every week. I think Adams is playing 90 minutes tonight, 120 minutes tonight if it takes it. And then if we win, assuming, Sunday he's going to do the same thing. That's just the kind of player he is. Thursday, Sunday works out well because these guys don't have to play again until next Saturday versus like, you know, if they were playing Thursday, Monday, that's one fewer day rest. I feel like they'd be more concerned about going back to their clubs, but come on, Adjumang, move around a little bit more. Make a run. Was there an inverted whistle? Wait. This is the most CONCACAF refereeing situation I've ever seen. What was the whistle? It hit him. Yeah, no, I know, Ace. I just think it's crazy, like how many I mean, would you have expected after the last camp that out of the, 23 players, right? 23 players. Let's see how many are MLS players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 23 are MLS players. I would have guessed no more than 2 or 3. Yeah, I guess it did hit the ref, Adam, but it was bizarre. That's all ball. There's no way that's a yellow card. It's just CONCACAF flopping and grabbing your head like doing this. This is how CONCACAF is. Come on now. Yeah, of course we got the first yellow. This is how CONCACAF referees. The other team spends a whole time rolling around on the floor, and then at a certain point we just get a random yellow card. It's so frustrating. I mean, even I'm going to be like, this has been light on the flopping for a CONCACAF match, and it's been quite a bit of flopping. Dude, Waterman, you barely got touched. Let's go. Get the trainers off the pitch. Richards is like, I used my shoulder and got the ball. Yeah, this is complete BS. Richards is like, yes, shoulder to shoulder, and I got the ball, but okay, yellow card. No, it's definitely not the craziness of AFCON, number one, because the AFCON pitches and the crowds are out of control. It actually makes for so much fun and intensity. I'm glad that like my rooting interest isn't in those matches, but the insanity of those matches is another level. I mean, this is obviously like premier pitch, beautiful stadium. Yeah, the ref was like, that's a goal kick. Yeah, 100%. Richards has been good. Ace, can you admit Richards has been good since that first 10 minutes he was shaky? Richards has been quite good in this match. Really grown into it well. All right, Jack McGlynn, what are we going to do? Anything? He's so stiff, Jack McGlynn, huh? You can just tell by the way somebody's legs move how their ability to receive. Like, it's a great crossfield ball, but it's just they're getting so frustrated at the lack of central access. I'll tell you what, if we win this match and go to the final, there's just no way I can watch another 120 minutes of CONCACAF footy without a beer. There's just no way. I mean, my head is on Mars right now watching this. That was a nice ball by McGlynn. Wait. Why was that a foul? Because the guy just went to the floor? Yeah, Schwander, what's good? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, we're gonna need a drinking game for the finals. I mean, if every time they flop, you have to drink, we're gonna be hammered. But we might be doing a drinking game for the finals for those who want to come back because this CONCACAF stuff is really, you got to be strong-willed to sit here and watch this for 90 minutes. You really do. 120 minutes may kill me. It may. Yeah, the calls always get worse because oh my God, Musa. What just even happened there to Musa? He slip? He just whiffed. Okay. No, yeah, the calls always get worse in CONCACAF, Mitchell, as the game goes on because the ref starts calling these tiny little fouls early on and then has to be consistent the whole time. And so then the players start flopping more and more as they get tired and they start cramping and the game gets sloppier. Raymar, what's good? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I've been calling out for Diego Luna since like the 28th minute. It's gotta be Diego Luna. This is the opportunity to see Diego Luna come in, receive the ball, carry the ball, create, be a one-man wrecking crew. This is a creator. Yeah, arm to the face. Adam, that's not actually a foul if it's against the United States in CONCACAF. You are allowed to elbow in the face against the United States. It may be your first time watching, so I just wanted to let you know that. Sargent over Musa, Joe. There's nothing about this match that could possibly tell you that Sargent was better than Musa. Yeah, we need creativity. We need somebody who's willing to take a risk, who's willing to drive, wait for two defenders to close down, and then play the ball forward, play the ball sideways, whatever it takes, instead of just out and around. Like, you bring... Oh, I should probably change this lineup. Everyone's looking at the wrong lineup now, right? This is McGlynn. And he plays with 12. This is Ajimang. Anybody? That right? That can't be right? Oh my God, I'm him. Good spelling. Ajimang, he wears 16. But yeah, if we could get Pulisic out here, McGlynn, and Diego Luna right here, right where I have Weah right here. If we could get Diego Luna here and just dribbling into this space, McKennie gets into this space, you get Pulisic into the areas Weah's been in. It's what I'd like to see. It's not what we're going to see, but it's what I'd like to see. I can promise you that. Where'd my stream go? I don't know. Maybe sometime this century we'll see Diego Luna. It's like, why call you? He called him up over Jack McGlynn, and then Jack McGlynn gets it. I never understand when that happens. And there's no way in one day of training that Jack McGlynn's been there that has changed Pochettino's mind. I know these guys were at that January camp, but still. Luna's got to be frustrated. I guess McKenzie's coming in for Richards. I'm fine with that. That's like for like. Poor Richards can't stay healthy. That's a fine substitution. McKenzie, that's not going to hurt us, although it hurts that we had to use a sub. We get 2 subs, and then obviously this is clearly going extra time. So I kind of think he made that sub just to defend this set piece because Richards couldn't come in for the set piece. Yeah, I'm fine with that too, Joe. I like Pulley left, Weah right. I would take McKennie and Musa. I mean, you can't really take Musa out because who's going to be playing right back? But I guess Weah's playing right back. We could do that. I could live with that. I'm not dying to see Reyna. I'm not dying. That's why I have not been screaming for... that's how much I want to see Diego Luna. I mean, we're just... That it is a smash and grab. The announcers on Paramount Plus are so bad. Wow, that's a big corner kick won by Weah there, just to make that extra effort. Is the next match on this pitch? No. It can't be. Is it? No. Yeah, I like Reyna and Luna. I like the concept, Joe. I'm not against the concept. I just want to see Luna more than anything. Extra time is going to be such a slog, as if this game hasn't already been a slog. Here's where United States win. I said this in the 11th minute, score like an 84th minute goal kick, corner kick. Terrible, Pulisic. Terrible. Next game's on the same pitch. Wow. And they still couldn't get more than 12,000 people there? They got 1 ticket, admits you to 2 matches? That's unbelievable. Ajimang! Ah! More than Josh Sargent did all game, Joe. Actually made a run in behind. In between the center backs. Well done by Ajimang. Would have liked to see a goal. Would have been well deserved. Don't just shoot that, McGlynn. Sargent may score that, but Sargent doesn't get into that position to score that. That's the difference, Joe. I'd like to see Sargent get into the position to score that. He doesn't hold off this defender like this. This is very well done. Man, if he could have taken one more touch, he would have had a goal. Yeah, of course he did. Ajimang's a beast. Big fan of Ajimang. That's what I've been... Have I not been saying that all game, that Ajimang will make that run be a more vertical threat? I've been saying that since the 20th minute. Oh, get up. Enough with the flopping, Panama. Come on, man. Is there a fast forward button for all the laying on the ground? It's absolutely just so frustrating. No, that's the right finish to go for. He just didn't get any. If he got any height on it, that's a goal. All he needed to do was get a little height on that. It's a good stop, low and away. If he had gotten 1 touch closer, he scores. Good composure. He didn't like scuff it. He did exactly what he was trying to do. Am I going to watch the next match? I can't watch 5 hours of CONCACAF in a row, unfortunately, Ace. I'll probably have it on, but I can't devote my whole attention to it. I'm going to, after this match, we'll record a post-match recap to throw up on YouTube and on the audio podcast. Good time to remind those. If you are here, this button right here, subscribe, bottom left, hit it. On YouTube, hit the subscribe button. And you'll get all my content, including my post-match reaction, which will be a little less hot-headed and a little bit more dialed in because it's less reactionary. We're not trying to be too reactionary here, but I will probably do a Josh Sargent rant, so if you like more of that content, definitely hit the sub button. But for those of you that are new here, hold on. Let's see if this turns into a goal. Terrible cross. For those of you that are new to the channel, I don't know if that's any of you in the chat, I do every week at least 2 performances broken down frame by frame, and just break up and analyze performances from Americans playing in Europe, as well as just an overall recap of how all the Americans are doing abroad, get us ready for the next camps, predictions, starting lineups, the whole thing. So hit the sub button here on YouTube. Also on TikTok, I do separate content with some more video usage because you can actually use game footage on TikTok, which you can't do on YouTube. So it's more short-form content, very similar content, but short-form if you'd rather that, or you can watch both. And if there's ever anything you want me to cover, hit me in the comments always. I cover anything that's asked about in the comments. All right, here comes the 86-minute cross and goal. Come on, nobody wants to watch extra time. Look where Musa is standing. He's the furthest forward player right now. I can't believe we're not going to see Luna in regular time. I'm shocked by that. This game is crying out for Luna. It's horrible, Ace. Horrible. Saving Luna for the final. Saving Luna, who's never played for him, for the final. Need that. We need that, Mitchell. Need that energy. Luna against Mexico to win would really, 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 really be great. Poetic. Yeah, this is classic U.S. men's national team. We all just assume we're going to be in the final because we're playing Panama and then we lose in penalties. You think Canada's going to win? Canada's been good recently. I mean, Jesse Marsh, for years, we all thought Jesse Marsh was going to be our next manager. I know that. Adjumang, great front post run. How do you scuff that? Great movement from Adjumang. Great ball from Pulisic. Joe, I know you think Sargent scores that. I know. Oh. Adam, that's funny. Such good movement from Adjumang to go front post there, right in front of the defender. He's so good. I really, really like him. Yeah, Joe, I know Sargent scores that. Does he? Not low-key at all, Raymer. It's not low-key. We miss Balogun horribly badly. Balogun is a focal point of this match. We miss Pepe. Either of them, and this is an easy win. Easy win. Those are the two players who change the way we can play, allow us to play centrally, allow us to play long, not to feet always. They can win the ball in the air. Yeah, Adjumang is the definition of a MLS striker. I agree. I like what he's done more than Sargent in this match. I won't be shocked if Adjumang is starting the next match after these two performances from the two strikers. Dest is another one who would obviously be crucial for us. I mean, we're missing, you can make an argument that we're missing 4 starters: Tillman, Dest, Anthony, Balogun, as well as the backups for Balogun, Pepe, who are missing, and also Cardoso, a backup, who could be starting. Joe, there's no way you think Sargent's better than Balogun. There's no way. Impossible. What is Josh better at than Balogun? Name one thing. I'd need to hear one thing that you think he's better at. Adjumang's accumulated 1.5 XG in this match. That's a tough stat. Scoring? He's not better. He's not a better scorer than Balogun. The statistics for the U.S. men's national team show you everything you need to know about that. Yeah, Josh won't be in the Gold Cup squad if both of those strikers are... If Balogun, Pepe, and Haji Wright are healthy, Josh is not in the... He's number 4 on the striker list. No doubt in my mind about that. No doubt in my mind. Unless he has some unbelievable performance in the next match, assuming we're in the final. Is he, though, Raymar? Because Balogun has still scored more recently for the U.S. men's national team than Sargent. Sargent hasn't scored since 2019. We've already gone over this a couple of times tonight. In 27 matches for the U.S. men's national team, he has 5 goals and none since 2019. He had 3 in October and November of 2019. He had 1 on his debut against Bolivia in 2018. He scored against Cuba 3 times, Bolivia once, and Peru once. He has not scored against any real footballing country, let's call it. Five minutes? We better score. I really don't want to watch extra time. I cannot state that enough. It's 2 minutes of substituting. All right, here we go. Josh is a championship level striker. We've gone over this like 17 times. Okay, Weah. Oh. Sorry, but Jack McGlynn has done 0 since coming on. Like, you just know Luna would have had a much more of an impact. You just know that. Prove me wrong, McGlynn. Prove me wrong. Yeah, I mean, the levels between Balogun and Sargent are massive. They're not anywhere near each other. One's playing Champions League football, and the other one's playing for Norwich, who have 49 points in 9th place in the championship. Yeah, I'd really like to score right here off a corner kick, last minute. This is how the U.S. rolls. Everyone's like, boring, boring, boring. Then we win the match. This is how it's been since Klinsmann, pretty much. Come on. Come on, Adjumang. You're so massive. Scally? Musa. Oh, well taken. Oh. All right, extra time we go. At least we'll get to see Diego Luna. That is a positive of extra time. We will get to see Diego Luna. You would think. You would think. We'll definitely see Reyna. No way we don't see Reyna. That would be very, very telling if we don't see Reyna. No way. No way. Could you imagine? Oh my God. And they just celebrated with Henry? They just celebrated with Thierry Henry? That's absolutely insane. That's unbelievable. I mean, that's just absolutely unbelievable how Turner doesn't get to that. That ball doesn't even go in the corner. There's no way Turner starts the third place game. That is just absolutely ridiculous. And then they celebrate with my idol right on my face. That's just unbelievable that we just lost this match to Panama in the semifinal. I mean, Pochettino is going to have some big questions to answer. I don't care how many players are injured. Some big, big questions to answer. That is absolutely ridiculous. He made all the wrong substitutions. He didn't make any halftime adjustments at all to addressing the issues that we were having. I mean, you can't give up a goal from there, Turner. You simply cannot give up a goal from there. You cannot give up a goal from there. I'm afraid Pochettino has brought the Tottenham to the United States men's national team. I mean, Turner just cannot give up a goal from that position. That's ridiculous goalkeeping. Clint Dempsey, why do you have a smirk on your face, idiot? That is unbelievable. Panama has been our Achilles heel. I mean, Panama has been our Achilles heel for 3 years now. Ridiculous. This is on Poch. I'm sorry, this entire match is on Poch. I mean, the players turned off for the last minute there, but that's it. Unbelievable. To lose to Panama at home, no fans there. I mean, we deserve to lose this match. You know what? Take back everything I said. My post-match is going to be complete head loss. Absolute, utter head loss. This is ridiculous performance from Pochettino in this side. I mean, he couldn't have set up worse and then makes absolutely no halftime adjustments. Zero. To what was already clearly a problem. We had no ability to create anything. Absolute head loss from this. Have to go forward. You have to go forward. You have to go forward. Forward, forward. You have to play forward. You have to go forward. We just had the ball inside the box, and we've ended up back at our center backs. Unbelievable. We really just lost to Panama. I mean, Tyler Adams, great chat. I mean, this team is, there's just, yeah. I mean, he only made 3 subs. You get 5 substitutions. One of them was a forced injury substitution. It's horrific managing. Horrifically managed match by Pochettino. No guts. He absolutely took no risks, no chances, didn't put us in a position to outscore Panama. Panama very clearly was sitting back behind the ball. Take off your 2 defensive midfielders you're playing and put on a creative player, a player who had double-digit goals and assists in the MLS last year. Absolutely insane. Unbelievable. 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 That is just so embarrassing for Pochettino. He's legitimately brought Tottenham to the U.S. men's national team. Congratulations. Congratulations. You've brought the biggest loser culture to the U.S. men's national team. Thank you all for watching. I'm about to go record the absolute most utter head loss reaction post-match. That'll be live tonight. It'll be live tonight, probably around 10 o'clock, and I'm going to freak out. So if you want to see a freak out, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. I will be back Sunday for the third place match where we can talk more about this absolute disappointment. Hopefully get to see Diego Luna play. Appreciate you guys all being here for what was really a poor night. But I'll see you all in the post-match reaction. Josh MVP, definitely not.